When I used to hear people complain about their jobs, I always felt they were being bitchy over nothing. You're employed and you get paid. What else could possibly be the problem? Well, the answer to my question would come when I got my very first job. In Nigeria, high school goes from the 7th to the 12th grade, and there's this long holiday of about 3 months between grades 9 and 10. Ninth graders are always looking forward to the holiday because it was a welcome break from all the stress of everyday school. I'd planned to spend my holiday playing video games and watching TV, but my dad had other ideas. One of my cousins, Ted, owns this media house. Graphic design, press printing, basically everything involving print media. Before I even got home from school, my dad had already spoken to my cousin about me coming to learn graphics design at his place. I wasn't really thrilled, but I didn't have much of a choice. He didn't teach me anything, cause he barely paid me any attention to begin with, but I hung around his partner Emmanuel and watched him work, and in less than a month, I was doing unprecedented stuff with CorelDRAW. I learned the program till it became like the back of my hand. The indication is this channel. It's the same program I make these videos with. I don't have a drawing tablet because those things aren't really cheap, so I make all of my drawings in Corel. I also learned how to use Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and taught myself Premiere Pro with YouTube later on. Ted noticed how good I'd gotten with graphics, which was both a blessing and a curse, because now he'd give me random jobs to do and cash out on free labor. I got fed up with it after a while and stopped going to the shop altogether. Well, a couple years later, when I just wrapped up high school, Ted coincidentally fired his previous employee, who'd been butting heads with him for a while, and called me to work with him. I was fresh out of high school, and the thought of earning any money at all appealed to me, so I didn't bother to ask how much I would be earning. First mistake, because the stress wasn't worth the money, not even a little bit. Cause first off was the fact that he required me to get to the shop at 8 in the morning. For someone who stays up till 4:30 playing video games, that was a huge drag. It meant I had to change my entire sleep schedule just to make it to work on time. Then came the customers. I was the only one in the shop one day when a young lady came in.
Hello?
Hi, what can I do for you?
Well, I want to print something out.
Okay, what?
A document for my mail.
Okay, no problem. She gave me her Gmail details. I opened the mailbox and there was nothing there. Like literally no mail, no spam, no ads or notifications, nothing. And I'm like, there's nothing in here.
What?
Your mailbox is empty.
No, it's not. My boyfriend said he sent the document.
Well, as you can see, it's empty. And she says,
Where's your boss? I want to know who gave a job to someone who can't open a mailbox, right?
well, Her Royal Highness, do show me the correct way to open it. So she gets in my seat, logs out, logs back in, no mail. She repeats it like 5 more times and then she gets frustrated, gets up, walks out of the shop without saying a word, and she never came back. I was kinda sad cause I was really looking forward to learning the right way to open Gmail. Ted himself didn't make my life easy. He sent me on so many petty errands that didn't even involve the job I was being paid to do. I'd go to the bank for him, buy him lunch. There was this one time he went out to buy himself lunch, came all the way upstairs, brought out money from his pocket, and asked me to get him water. Water he could have bought at the restaurant. Water he could have bought downstairs on the way up. There's actually nothing wrong with him sending me on errands, but my issue with it was the frequency. He did it so much that even the customers felt it was okay and started to do it. Customers would literally send me to get them lunch and follow them home to collect payment for jobs. There was this one time during fasting, Ted asked me to follow this dude to his house to collect the payment. I don't know if this guy was delusional or just plain cruel. I followed him, we went down to his car, he got in and said, "You can't get in, follow me on foot, I'll drive slow." And this dude was driving at like 5 miles an hour just so I wouldn't have to get in his car. We got to his place, he went in the house and spent about an hour and a half taking his bath and having dinner before coming to attend to me. When he was done, he came outside and said, "So as it turns out, I don't actually have cash on me, so here's my debit card and my PIN. Go to the ATM and take your payment, then bring my card back here. From his house to the ATM, back to his house, and back to the shop. This was like a 2-hour walk in total, and at this point, I was frustrated, tired, and hungry because I was yet to break my fast. I looked this dude dead in the eyes, and without any emotion, I said, if I go to that ATM, I'm taking much more than my payments, and both me and your debit card, you will never see again. I turned around and started to leave, and he called me back, put his hand in his pocket, and brought out the money. This fat ass, ugly ass, crusty ass lowlife was going to make me walk 2 whole hours, and he had the money all along. I just took the money and left. I didn't have the energy for anything more. A whole lot of stupid shit like that happened during my time working there, but what happened on this particular day, this takes the cake. So I came into work one morning, dead tired, because I had an important job to finish that took me the whole night, and there was work waiting for me already. Some dude brought in questions he wanted typed and printed. These questions were the entire exam of a primary school, 1st to 6th grade, complete. Every subject, every grade, and he wanted it done by the next day. Bruh. My head was fucking spinning, but as I didn't have a choice, I got to work. Couple hours later, Ted comes in and he's like, oh, okay, you're already here. I need you to deposit some cash for me at the bank. What bank? United Bank. The United Bank opposite your house? The same house you're coming from? Yep. Well, I just collected the money on my way here and I couldn't go all the way back to the bank. Where'd you collect the money from? From Donald. The same Donald that works at the supermarket beside United Bank? Yep. The same United Bank that's opposite your house? I'll text you the account details. So out I went into the scorching sun. I deposited the money and went back to the shop to continue my work. Now 20 minutes pass and Ted calls me again. Come help me get some money from the ATM. What ATM? United Bank. The same United Bank that's beside the supermarket that's opposite your house? Yup. The same United Bank you sent me to deposit money this morning? Out into the scorching sun I went. Got the money from the ATM, went back to the shop, continued my work. This time, it's even less than 10 minutes. Hola, my delivery guy couldn't make it today and I've got a package that needs to go to Maryland, okay? If you leave now, you'll be back in no time. So off I went into the scorching sun for the 3rd time that day. I was delivering spring rolls to a workstation in Maryland, which was nearly a 4-hour journey. I was super stressed when I got there because I had a hard time locating the lady who had the order. But I found her and she was super nice too, so that encounter went pretty smoothly. Back to the shop, back to my work. There's this fat dude who'd been sitting beside Ted all day. Apparently, Ted was doing the job for him and he was there to make any necessary corrections. Not long after I got back, he goes, "Man, are you hungry?" "I'm hungry." "Of course you are." I already knew where this was going. "I'm so hungry, I haven't eaten all day." "You fat fuck, you look like you swallowed a whole school bus." "Hey you, boy."
Oh shit, here we go again.
"Come get me something to eat." "Sure, what would you like?" "Get me a 12-piece chicken bucket, 2 deluxe burgers, 3 bags of fries, no ketchup, and 5 cans of Pepsi." "Sure thing." I wanted to get this done as soon as possible, but no. The universe had a point to prove that day. That same day, KFC got a new employee. Guess whose order he's taking? Mine. Know what he does? Pours ketchup over the whole thing, which I didn't realize until Fat Joe opened it. So I had to go back and get the order changed, and at this point, I feel like I'm going to die at any moment. I was so fucking tired. I continued my work, and after a while, I heard DJ Calories and Ted having a conversation, and he asked Ted how much he paid the person who worked there before me. It was this lady, Felicia, who always got to work late, closed early, and turned down jobs she could easily do. I might not want to do a job, but it's my job. That's how I get paid, so I gotta do what I gotta do. But Felicia would be like,
Oh well, I can't really do that right now. Maybe check the shop next door.
Ted had had enough and he fired her to hire me. So he looked at me I see him from the corner of my eye, and I strain my ears so I can listen to his answer. He opened his mouth and said, 30,000 naira. There and then, I decided that a 9 to 5 was not for me. I was doing all this work, working my ass off, working extra hours to get paid 10,000 naira a month. 1/3 of what the lousy employee before me was getting. I got up, packed my stuff, walked right to his desk, and said, I quit, right before I walked out the shop. I was completely being taken for granted at my job, and I'm glad I was able to gather the courage to leave. I started to freelance after that, and I'd get random jobs that I'd do and get paid for. It wasn't much, but it was on my own terms, and that was good enough for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Also, share with your friends, man. I appreciate those of y'all that do. Thank you guys. I'll catch you on the next one.